for MILF of the Year. Will you be Are you up for any nominations this year?
I'm not for any nominations this year. There's no UCAP awards this year, but
any other awards?
I haven't really worked. No, I haven't really worked for many companies. I'm trying to get back out there to work for some bigger, larger companies. Mostly, I've been concentrating on shooting for my own website. Mm-hmm. That's predominantly what I've been doing. So it'd be good to get some. Obviously, I've just worked for Harmony as well this year. Who else have I worked for this year? That's it. I've worked for Harmony this year and worked mostly for my own site. And then I do the BSX stuff, the base station. Not the web channel, but the girl stuff that they put out once a month. But they do it every week. But I do a show on there once a month.
Is this the phone jingle thing? Where is this where you hold the mobile phone in the hand and you do it?
No, I don't do that. But what they have is on a Saturday, on a Friday, they have a solo a full girl solo, so toys and stuff. But the girl does have a phone in that. I don't like that, so I don't do it. And then I do the.
I've mastered it. I reckon I could do it. I reckon I could go on there. I've mastered it. If you can see me, I've got it. I'm shaking the phone. Yeah. I'm shaking it. I've got it.
You're shaking it. You got to shake it. And then you got to turn around and shake your ass, and voice, say the words.
See, this is what I like about this show is that you only see the top half. I'm actually wearing Colin's jogging bottoms, so it's not very flattering at all if I was to stand up and wiggle my ass.
I mean, initially when we were trying to do when we were trying to set up the webcam thing earlier on, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to have to put some nicer clothes on. I was like, I'm going to have to do my hair and makeup sorted out. And then you were like, we couldn't get it sorted out. And then we were like, oh, it'll just be a phone chat. And I'd be like, oh, thank God, I could just sit in my pajamas now.
So I want to just go over some of the things that we've spoken about tonight. We've had 4 pieces of news. And the first one was about robot strippers to dance alongside humans in French nightclubs. Now, they're not kind of like sex bots, but it's a robot that's got a breastplate with breasts, and it's black and white, like the old school robots, with a CCTV camera. You might have seen the picture on Twitter because I have put it out there. The video, that she's holding onto the pole. She's doing it. I'm trying to do a grinding motion, and all I've got is my chair going.
I think I've seen that, but I just don't think it's. I had this talk, but a similar talk with somebody else about how futuristic we'll end up going at some point. But I just don't think that's. No, I wouldn't want to see robots dancing. If I went to see a stripper, male or female, I want to see the human form.
Yep, I agree with you. Now, also in the news tonight, Katie Price has caused a little bit of a commotion. She was in a was it Turkey?
Yeah.
She was in a Turkish nightclub promoting unprotected sex by stating, if you're going to have sex, wrap up. And then she said, nah, don't bother with that. It's more exciting not to.
Oh, I did read that. I did see that, and I thought it was the wrong message to be putting out, especially in this day and age. We should be obviously promoting safe sex. To everyone, especially young kids. They do look and watch and listen, and STIs are on the rise, and we need to be promoting safe, healthy, consensual sex.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Absolutely.
That sounds really old.
Do you know, it was weird because you're saying that you sound really old. Well, the next story, we've tried to work this story out. We've not quite got it. Brighton beaches, they want to fine couples for sexual acts in public, which I totally understand, fine, no problem. But the story actually states that the councilwoman for that area who wants to fine them, she's saying that there's just smut, and more smut. We're turning into the smutty 30s. And I just think, how can she know that the 30s was smutty? Because she would have to be about 110 years old to remember it.
Yeah. I didn't realise the 1930s were that smutty.
Neither did I.
No, we think she studied a degree in it.
She must have done a degree in smut.
Oh, I'll have to Google the 1930s just to see how smutty they were then.
Let us know, because we're keen to find
I will
out.
do. I do like a bit of history and research, so I will have to do that. I have to check it out later. 1930s smuttiness.
And then, of course, our last bit of news was about the water jets that are set to squirt people who are trying to have sex romps in public toilets in Wales. And, you know, there's been lots of controversy about it, whether somebody needs assistance, because the floor will monitor the pressure, and if there's two bodies in there, then you will get, the doors will open, an alarm will come off, and you will get soaked by a high pressure jet.
That could cause some damage.
Yeah. Absolutely.
High pressure water jets do actually hurt. Do you know what I mean?
They do. They do. Right, I'm just going to grab you.
They do hurt. But I wonder how much sex they're having in public toilets in Wales then, because you know, if they've got to resort to them sort of.
I have no idea. I'm just trying to get there we go. So I'm going to get that there, and I'm going to put that there. And I've had a question from Jim.
Yep.
He wants to know. From Jim. Are you
Jim,
single?
yeah.
If you are single, what is your ideal man?
I am single, and I don't have an ideal man. If I meet someone and I like them,
Yes.
then I like them, and it could be anything. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me this question the other day. They was like, "What's your ideal man?" It was a guy, actually. I was sat in front of him, he's asking, "What's your ideal man?" And I'm like, and I thought to myself, "Well, I'm actually sat in front of you, so obviously it's you."
So if
I don't know what you were trying to ask me. That I was like, "What's your ideal man?" And I thought, well, the answer was, if I like you, I like you. Then I haven't got an ideal. I haven't got a stereotype in my head, because maybe when I was young, I used to say, as most people say, tall, this and that. But as you get older, you realise that none of that really matters. If you connect with somebody and you like them,
yeah, absolutely,
that's all that matters.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you with that. I really, really do.
Yeah.
What was I going to ask you? Yes. So what apart from XBiz, what is in the future plans for Sahara Knite?
Oh God, my future plans.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, apart from XBiz, that's the thing coming up. I'm just looking at shooting content. I'm always looking for new performers or new and current performers who are interested in shooting with me to get in contact. I'm always looking for new Indian guys, because they're really hard to get hold. They're really hard to get hold of.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had people ask me quite a lot when are you shooting with Indian guys? But it's really hard, because there are a few out there, but none of them want to show the face, and they're all, they all want to come and shoot with you, but they don't want to show the faces. And I just hopefully find some guys who want to show their faces at least. So that's it. Just carry on working, camming. I'm working a lot. Sort of working on a voluntary basis a lot at the moment on sexual health.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing some work with Prepster
What's
on
Prepster?
advocating of. They do women in prep.
Right, brilliant.
So I'm going to do some work with them. I'm going to go see them on Thursday, and then I'm just looking more at sort of developing that side of it, working in sexual health, especially with maybe Asian communities where they might be a little bit. Everybody's having sex at the end of the day, but they might be maybe a little bit shy or a little bit reluctant to go to sexual health centres. I heard from the Asian industry. I'm going to say, when I say Asian, I mean Indian. The sort of Indian continent. There's a lot of people in the girls, guys, and mostly women in the UK who are having sex outside of marriage and stuff, and it's frowned upon. But they're to keep their virginity. Look at me. We're talking about sexual health now. Virginity intact. They're coming to clinics representing with anal STIs mostly.
Wow.
So it's just. What? Yeah, I heard that from a nurse who I spoke to a while back.
Is this
and she said they get a lot of
religion?
Yeah, yes. And she was saying to me that they get a lot of Asian women coming through, and it's all mostly anal STIs, because obviously the whole virginity before marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're all having sex. Here's the thing, it's like, all virgin before, remain a virgin before you get married, but they're all having sex behind closed doors or whatever. And it also used to be anal sex.
Yeah.
So
right.
they're all presenting it with anal STIs, and it's like, I think there needs to be more education on that. I think there just needs to be more education as a whole on sexual health for various communities.
So, Sahara, if you could change that, if you could implement some type of training and educational program for people about sex, where would you start?
Well, I'd initially start with organisations to get training and stuff. I was meant, unfortunately, Prexter, they were doing some sexual health training courses on 2 days in September, which unfortunately I can't make. And they were funded, and it was just because I'm already working on them days. I just can't make it, unfortunately. So I'm sort of trying to work with them on like stories and stuff in different ways. But they said they'll try and get me involved in other areas that they've got. But to get in, obviously, to start with that sort of thing, it'd be to work with organisations. And I also thought to myself that maybe I could, do like a YouTube channel.
Mm.
Something I've written down in my little list. I was chatting to Terry about it earlier on today, talking about like sexual health and awareness and education. Maybe start up a YouTube channel
I think that's a great idea.
Discuss them sort of things. But yeah, so that's I think that's the way I'd like to. I think as and when when I stop shooting, when I stop, I don't want to completely move out of the adult industry. I'd still like to do something that works within the framework of the adult industry.
Mm-hmm. I've got. Do you know what? I haven't said the word of the week at all, have I?
No.
I haven't. So
No.
Sahara, you and the Moo are going to be the first to know what the word of the week. Have the first guess of word of the week, because I can't believe it's an hour and a half into the show and I'm just thinking nobody knows what the word of the week is. Are you ready for this?
What is this word of the week? What is it for?
So you have to guess what it means.
Oh, right, okay.
Are you ready?
Mm.
Yes.
Ziffo.
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 How do you spell it?
Zipho.
I'm just going to Google it.
No, you can't Google it. That's cheating.
I know. I'm such a cheat.
You can't be a cheat.
It's all right.
No,
I'm
I
allowed
can hear
to.
you tapping.
I've typed it. Well, according to a user from South Africa.
No. You see, but you can't give. I can't give the answer out till the end of the show. So if you've got the answer,
I know it now.
It's
of African origin.
Oh really? I haven't got. Got it under a different origin. But Moo, what do you think Ziffo means? You can say anything you want.
Actually, there's different meanings to it. There's different meanings because there's a South African meaning, and then there's just like a calibra. What else is there? There's other meanings to it as well.
Ziffo.
Yeah, Ziffo. This is under the Urban Dictionary meaning.
Oh, right.
Yeah. She's typing away. I can hear her. That's cheating.
Such a cheat.
Right, come on then, Moo. What do you reckon it is?
Everyone can see.
Sounds like a flipping. What do you call it? It sounds like a Zippo lighter.
Yes, that's the first thing that came into my head.
A Ziffo. You think it's a Zippo?
Ziffo.
Ziffo.
Maybe
Moo thought it was a lighter.
A Toyota Ziffo. Yeah, that could be one.
It could be a term for people who like a particular style of sex.
Yes, it could be. I like that one. That's the best one.
What sort of style of sex would it be, Moo?
So
yeah.
Zippo.
Oh, that nympho, a Zippo.
So people who have sex holding on their lighters is a Ziffo.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
You could do clippos as well for clipper lighters.
Yeah. Anybody who's watching, anybody who's listening, and you want to have a guess, You can text me at the studio on 07899901283. You've got the last few more minutes with
I found it.
No,
I found what it is now.
You can't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone. It's
I'm
got
not.
to
I'm
be a
keeping
secret.
it.